In the microscopic realm of quantum physics, a fascinating phenomenon challenges our understanding of reality itself. Quantum entanglement represents one of nature's most profound mysteries, a connection between particles that transcends space and time, defying our classical understanding of how the universe works. When two or more particles become entangled, their quantum states are inextricably linked, regardless of the physical distance between them. What happens to one particle instantaneously affects its entangled partner, even if they're separated by vast distances across the universe. This extraordinary connection led Albert Einstein to famously call it spooky action at a distance, as he struggled to reconcile this phenomenon with his understanding of classical physics. To understand entanglement, imagine two identical twins who always wear opposite-colored socks. If you see one twin wearing black socks, you instantly know the other twin must be wearing white socks, no matter where they are in the world. While this analogy simplifies the quantum reality, it helps illustrate how measuring one particle immediately reveals information about its entangled partner. The reality of quantum entanglement has been proven through numerous groundbreaking experiments, most notably those testing Bell's theorem. John Stuart Bell proposed a mathematical framework that could test whether quantum mechanics was complete or if there were hidden variables that could explain the apparent instantaneous communication between entangled particles. The experiments that followed demonstrated conclusively that entanglement is real and that particles can indeed influence each other instantaneously across any distance. One of the most significant experiments was conducted by physicist Alain Aspect in 1982. He created pairs of entangled photons and sent them in opposite directions, measuring their properties at precise moments. The results showed that measuring one photon's properties instantly determined the properties of its partner, faster than the speed of light could carry any signal between them. This violated Einstein's special relativity theory, which states that nothing can travel faster than light. Modern experiments have pushed these boundaries even further. In 2018, scientists successfully entangled particles across a distance of more than 1,200 kilometers using satellites, demonstrating that quantum entanglement persists even across vast distances in space. These experiments not only confirm the reality of entanglement but also open doors to practical applications in quantum computing, cryptography, and telecommunications. The implications of quantum entanglement extend far beyond laboratory curiosities. This phenomenon suggests that at its most fundamental level, our universe operates in ways that defy our everyday experience of reality. The fact that particles can maintain instantaneous connections regardless of distance implies a deep interconnectedness in the fabric of reality itself. Some physicists propose that space and time might be emergent properties of a more fundamental reality where everything is inherently connected. This inherent connectivity raises profound questions about the nature of consciousness and its role in the quantum world. The Copenhagen interpretation of quantum mechanics suggests that observation plays a crucial role in determining the properties of quantum systems. When we measure an entangled particle, we don't just passively observe its properties, our act of measurement actively participates in determining those properties. This has led some theorists to propose that consciousness itself might play a fundamental role in the quantum realm. Consider how entanglement might shape our understanding of reality on a larger scale. If microscopic particles can maintain instantaneous connections across vast distances, could this phenomenon scale up to affect larger systems? While quantum effects typically disappear at macroscopic scales due to decoherence, some researchers suggest that certain biological systems might preserve quantum coherence long enough to benefit from quantum effects. Recent studies in quantum biology have found evidence of quantum processes in photosynthesis, bird navigation, and even human cognition. These discoveries hint at the possibility that nature has evolved to harness quantum effects in ways we're only beginning to understand. The quantum nature of these biological processes suggests that life itself might be intimately connected to the quantum realm. As we continue to explore the implications of quantum entanglement, we find ourselves at the intersection of physics and philosophy. The phenomenon challenges our assumptions about locality, causality, and the nature of reality itself. It suggests a universe where separation is an illusion, and connection is the fundamental truth. This scientific understanding resonates surprisingly well with ancient wisdom traditions that have long spoken of the fundamental interconnectedness of all things. The study of quantum entanglement reminds us that the universe is far more mysterious and interconnected than our everyday experience suggests. As we push the boundaries of our understanding through scientific exploration, we find that the line between the physical and the metaphysical becomes increasingly blurred, opening new possibilities for understanding our place in the cosmos and our connections to one another. Throughout human history, spiritual traditions across cultures have recognized profound connections that transcend physical boundaries. These ancient wisdom traditions often speak of an underlying unity that connects all beings, a concept that finds fascinating parallels in our modern understanding of quantum entanglement. From the Vedantic concept of Brahman in Hinduism to the Buddhist teaching of Indra's net, these philosophies suggest that reality is fundamentally interconnected. In some philosophies, particularly in the Upanishads, the concept of Advaita, or non-dualism teaches that our apparent separation is an illusion, and all consciousness emerges from a single unified field. Similarly, Buddhist teachings emphasize the principle of dependent origination, suggesting that all phenomena arise in mutual dependence. The Sufi tradition in Islam speaks of Wadat al-Wujud, or the unity of existence, where all creation is seen as different manifestations of the same divine reality. These ancient insights find contemporary expression in modern metaphysical concepts like soul ties and twin flames. Soul connections are often described as bonds that persist across multiple lifetimes, creating profound resonances between individuals that defy conventional explanation. People report experiencing inexplicable knowing about others, sensing their emotions or thoughts across distances, or feeling an immediate recognition upon first meeting, experiences that hint at connections operating beyond our physical reality. The concept of quantum entanglement offers an intriguing framework for understanding these experiences. Just as particles can maintain instantaneous connections across space and time, perhaps consciousness itself operates through similar non-local connections. This might explain phenomena like telepathy, where information appears to transfer between minds without physical means, or synchronicities, meaningful coincidences that suggest an underlying pattern of connection. Research in the field of heart-brain coherence provides another perspective on these connections. The HeartMath Institute has documented how the human heart generates a measurable electromagnetic field that extends several feet from the body and can influence nearby organisms. When people achieve states of emotional coherence through meditation or positive emotions, their heart rhythms can synchronize with others nearby, suggesting mechanisms for emotional and energetic alignment. The concept of morphic fields, proposed by biologist Rupert Sheldrake, offers another framework for understanding soul connections. These fields supposedly contain information that shapes both form and behavior, operating across space and time. This theory might explain why certain relationships feel predetermined or why we can sense connections with others who share similar patterns or frequencies. Energy healers and practitioners of various spiritual traditions often work with these subtle energetic connections. They describe how emotional states, thoughts, and intentions can create lasting energetic bonds between people. These connections might be strengthened through shared experiences, emotional intimacy, or conscious attention, much like how quantum entanglement can be deliberately created between particles in laboratory settings. Personal accounts of profound connections often describe experiences that transcend ordinary physical limitations. A mother instantly knowing when her child is in danger, regardless of distance, or twins who can sense each other's physical and emotional states, exemplify these deeper bonds. While skeptics might dismiss such accounts, they persist across cultures and contexts, suggesting patterns that deserve serious consideration. The resonance between individuals might be understood through the principle of quantum coherence, where particles vibrate in harmony. Just as entangled particles maintain their connection regardless of distance, human consciousness might operate through similar principles of resonance and coherence. This could explain why certain relationships feel timeless, transcending ordinary spatial and temporal boundaries. Beyond individual connections, many traditions speak of a universal field of consciousness that connects all beings. This concept aligns with theories in quantum physics about the quantum vacuum, a fundamental field that underlies all of reality. If consciousness indeed operates at this quantum level, it might explain how information and emotions can transfer between individuals without physical contact. Contemporary spiritual teachers often describe how these connections can be consciously cultivated through practices like meditation, prayer, or energy work. By achieving states of deep coherence and alignment, individuals might become more attuned to these subtle connections, much like a radio becoming better able to receive distant signals when properly tuned. Understanding soul connections through the lens of quantum physics offers a bridge between ancient wisdom and modern science. While the exact mechanisms remain mysterious, the persistence of these experiences across human history suggests they reflect a fundamental aspect of reality. As we continue to explore both the scientific and spiritual dimensions of these connections, we may discover new ways to understand and nurture these profound bonds that enrich human experience. This perspective on soul connections invites us to consider reality as fundamentally relational rather than separate. Just as quantum entanglement challenges our assumptions about physical separation, soul connections challenge our assumptions about consciousness and connection. They suggest that beneath the apparent separation of our individual lives lies a deeper unity, waiting to be recognized and explored. The relationship between quantum physics and consciousness represents one of science's most intriguing frontiers. As we explore this intersection, theories like the Penrose-Hameroff orchestrated objective reduction, orchestra, model suggest that quantum processes in brain structures might give rise to conscious experience. This model proposes that consciousness emerges from quantum computations in microtubules within neurons, potentially explaining how consciousness could interact with the quantum realm. Roger Penrose, a mathematical physicist, and Stuart Hameroff, an anesthesiologist, developed this theory by examining how quantum effects might persist in biological systems despite the warm, wet environment of the brain. They proposed that structures called microtubules could maintain quantum coherence long enough to support conscious processes. While controversial, this theory offers a potential mechanism for how consciousness might operate at the quantum level, possibly explaining phenomena like intuition and non-local awareness. The observer effect in quantum mechanics presents another fascinating connection between consciousness and quantum phenomena. In quantum physics, the act of observation appears to influence the behavior of particles, collapsing wave functions into definite states. This suggests that consciousness might play a fundamental role in shaping physical reality. When we extend this principle to relationships and connections between people, it raises intriguing possibilities about how our attention and intention might influence the bonds we share with others. Consider how focusing our attention on a relationship might strengthen the quantum correlations between individuals, similar to how careful observation affects quantum systems. This perspective suggests that conscious intention might help create and maintain stronger connections with others, operating through quantum mechanical principles we're only beginning to understand. The practice of mindful attention to relationships might therefore have a physical basis in quantum mechanics, rather than being purely psychological. The concept of non-locality in quantum mechanics suggests that information can be instantaneously transmitted between entangled particles regardless of distance. Similarly, numerous accounts exist of people experiencing immediate awareness of significant events affecting loved ones, regardless of physical separation. While conventional physics struggles to explain such phenomena, quantum mechanics offers potential mechanisms through which consciousness might operate non-locally. Research into presentiment and precognition conducted by scientists like Dean Radin suggests that human consciousness might be able to access information across time in ways that parallel quantum mechanical effects. These studies indicate that our nervous systems can respond to future events seconds before they occur, suggesting that consciousness might operate outside our conventional understanding of time and causality. The existence of parallel realities, suggested by quantum mechanics through the many worlds interpretation, opens up new ways of thinking about connections between individuals. This interpretation proposes that every quantum event creates multiple branches of reality, all existing simultaneously. Applied to consciousness and relationships, this might explain experiences of deep recognition or familiarity with people we've just met. Perhaps we're accessing connections that exist across multiple realities or dimensions. Dreams and altered states of consciousness might serve as natural interfaces with these quantum aspects of reality. During these states, our usual filters of perception are reduced, potentially allowing greater access to quantum-level information and connections. This could explain why meaningful insights about relationships often come during dreams or meditative states, when our conscious minds are more open to subtle quantum influences. The field of quantum biology continues to discover ways that living systems utilize quantum effects. Recent research has shown that processes like photosynthesis and bird navigation rely on quantum coherence. This suggests that nature has evolved mechanisms to preserve and use quantum effects despite the noise and interference of the macro world. Similar mechanisms might enable quantum effects in human consciousness and relationships. The heart's electromagnetic field, which extends several feet from the body and can be measured with sensitive instruments, might play a role in these quantum connections. Research has shown that this field carries emotional information and can directly affect other nearby organisms. The heart's field might serve as a medium for quantum entanglement between individuals, explaining how emotional states can be transmitted between people who share strong bonds. As we explore these connections between quantum mechanics and consciousness, new technologies are emerging that might help us better understand and measure these effects. Quantum sensors, capable of detecting subtle changes in electromagnetic fields and quantum states, might someday allow us to directly observe the quantum aspects of consciousness and human connection. This quantum spiritual bridge suggests that the deeper reality underlying our experiences might be fundamentally unified and interconnected. Just as quantum entanglement reveals the illusion of separation at the particle level, the quantum nature of consciousness might reveal the illusion of separation at the level of human experience. This understanding could have profound implications for how we approach relationships, healing, and personal growth. The exploration of consciousness through the lens of quantum mechanics offers a scientific framework for understanding experiences that have traditionally been relegated to the spiritual domain. Rather than dismissing these experiences as purely subjective or imaginary, we can begin to investigate them as potentially real phenomena operating according to quantum principles we're only beginning to understand. As we continue to advance our understanding of both quantum mechanics and consciousness, the bridge between these domains grows stronger. This convergence of science and spirituality might ultimately lead to a more complete understanding of reality, one that honors both the objective observations of science and the subjective experiences of consciousness. This unified perspective could transform how we understand ourselves and our connections with others, revealing the quantum nature of human relationships and consciousness itself. Building stronger connections with others begins with developing awareness of our own energetic state. Scientific research has demonstrated that meditation and focused breathing practices can significantly alter our brainwave patterns and heart rhythm coherence. When we achieve these coherent states, we become more receptive to subtle information and better able to sense and strengthen our connections with others. A fundamental practice involves cultivating present moment awareness through meditation. Research has shown that regular meditation increases activity in brain regions associated with empathy and emotional regulation. Begin with just 5 minutes of quiet observation of your breath, gradually extending the duration as you become more comfortable. This practice creates the internal conditions necessary for sensing and strengthening quantum connections. Visualization exercises can enhance our ability to work with these subtle energetic bonds. Scientists studying mirror neurons have discovered that our brains respond similarly whether we're performing an action or simply imagining it. When working to strengthen a connection with someone, imagine a bridge of light extending between your heart and theirs. This visualization activates similar neural pathways to actual interaction, potentially strengthening the quantum entanglement between individuals. The power of focused intention has been demonstrated in numerous scientific studies, including research on distant healing and prayer. To harness this power, set aside time each day to consciously direct positive attention toward your relationships. Research in psychoneuroimmunology suggests that positive emotional states strengthen the immune system and create measurable changes in physiology. These changes might facilitate stronger quantum coherence between individuals. Heart coherence techniques, developed through research at the HeartMath Institute, offer another powerful tool. By focusing on feelings of appreciation while maintaining steady, rhythmic breathing, you can create a measurable state of physiological coherence. This state has been shown to generate a more organized electromagnetic field around the body, potentially enhancing our ability to maintain quantum connections with others. The practice of mindful observation plays a crucial role in strengthening these connections. Just as the observer effect in quantum physics shows that observation influences quantum systems, conscious attention to our relationships might strengthen their underlying quantum bonds. Pay attention to subtle feelings, intuitive hints, and synchronicities that might indicate quantum connections at work. Dream journaling provides another avenue for accessing and strengthening quantum connections. Research into dream telepathy suggests that during sleep, our consciousness might be more receptive to non-local information. Keep a journal by your bed and record dreams immediately upon waking, paying special attention to dreams involving others with whom you share strong connections. Patterns often emerge that reveal deeper aspects of these relationships. Physical practices like qigong or yoga can help attune our bodies to subtle energy. These traditional practices, now supported by research showing their effects on the nervous system and bioelectric fields, might help us become more sensitive to quantum-level connections. Simple movements coordinated with breath awareness can create states of coherence that enhance our ability to sense and strengthen these bonds. Working with resonance provides another practical approach. Research has shown that when people spend time together, their heart rhythms can synchronize. You can cultivate this resonance deliberately by matching your breathing rhythm with another person during conversation or shared meditation. This physiological synchronization might strengthen quantum entanglement between individuals. The practice of gratitude has been shown to create measurable changes in heart rhythm coherence and nervous system function. Spend time each day consciously appreciating the connections in your life. This positive emotional state creates physiological conditions that might support stronger quantum bonds. Write down specific aspects of your relationships that you're grateful for, allowing yourself to fully feel the appreciation. Forgiveness work represents another powerful tool for clearing blockages in quantum connections. Research has shown that holding on to negative emotions creates measurable stress in the body's systems. By practicing forgiveness, we release these tensions and create space for stronger connections to develop. This doesn't mean condoning harmful actions, but rather freeing ourselves from the physiological burden of resentment. Sound and vibration can help align our energy fields and strengthen connections. Research into cymatics shows how sound waves create organized patterns in physical matter. Using specific frequencies through singing, chanting, or listening to certain types of music might help create coherent states that support quantum entanglement. Simple humming practices can help align your own energy field. Creating sacred space for connection involves both physical and energetic elements. Research on the effects of environment on psychological states suggests that our surroundings influence our ability to enter receptive states. Designate a quiet space for practices aimed at strengthening connections, keeping it free from electronic distractions and filled with elements that support calm awareness. Developing sensitivity to subtle energy requires patience and consistent practice. Start with brief periods of focused attention and gradually extend them as your sensitivity increases. Pay attention to physical sensations, emotional shifts, and intuitive impressions that might indicate quantum connections at work. Document your experiences to track patterns and development over time. Regular practice of these techniques can lead to increased awareness of and ability to work with quantum connections. Remember that like any skill, this develops gradually through consistent attention and practice. The key lies in maintaining regular engagement with these practices while remaining open to the subtle ways these connections manifest in daily life. Our journey through the intersection of quantum physics and human connection reveals a profound truth: the universe operates through principles of fundamental interconnectedness. The scientific discovery of quantum entanglement mirrors ancient wisdom about the essential unity of all things, suggesting that these traditions capture deep insights about the nature of reality long before modern physics could verify them. When we consider how quantum mechanics demonstrates the illusion of separation at the particle level, we begin to understand why mystics throughout history have spoken of unity consciousness. The particles that make up our bodies were once part of stars, and they remain in constant quantum interaction with the world around us. This scientific reality gives new meaning to the spiritual concept that we are all one. Contemporary research into consciousness and quantum effects continues to reveal surprising ways that human awareness might influence and interact with physical reality. The scientific observation that consciousness appears necessary for the collapse of quantum wave functions suggests that our minds play a more fundamental role in reality than classical physics assumed. This understanding carries profound implications for how we approach our relationships and our potential for conscious evolution. The practical techniques we've explored for strengthening quantum connections rest on this foundation of unified reality. When we practice meditation, heart coherence, or focused intention, we're not just engaging in abstract exercises, we're working with fundamental properties of consciousness and quantum mechanics. The measurable changes in brain waves, heart rhythms, and electromagnetic fields during these practices suggest mechanisms through which we might influence quantum-level connections. Consider how this understanding might transform our approach to daily life. Each interaction becomes an opportunity to recognize and strengthen the quantum bonds that connect us. A simple conversation, when approached with full presence and conscious awareness, might strengthen quantum coherence between individuals. Every act of kindness or moment of genuine connection might create ripples of positive influence through the quantum field that connects all consciousness. The discovery of quantum processes in biological systems suggests that nature has evolved to harness quantum effects for specific purposes. This raises intriguing possibilities about human potential for conscious use of quantum phenomena. Just as plants use quantum coherence in photosynthesis, humans might learn to consciously work with quantum connections to enhance communication, healing, and understanding between individuals. Scientists studying the frontiers of consciousness research increasingly recognize patterns that suggest quantum-level interactions in human experience. The documented cases of simultaneous inspiration, where multiple individuals arrive at the same breakthrough independently, might reflect access to a quantum field of information. The persistent reports of telepathic connection between closely bonded individuals might represent conscious awareness of quantum entanglement effects. As we move forward in our understanding, the artificial separation between science and spirituality continues to dissolve. Quantum physics reveals a universe of possibilities that traditional science once dismissed, while ancient spiritual insights find validation in cutting-edge research. This convergence offers hope for a more complete understanding of human potential and our role in the cosmic web of consciousness. The practical implications of these insights extend far beyond individual relationships. Understanding our quantum interconnectedness naturally fosters greater empathy and responsibility toward others and our environment. When we truly grasp that we exist within an interconnected quantum field, we begin to understand how our thoughts, emotions, and actions influence the greater whole. Research into collective consciousness and field effects suggests that groups of people focusing on similar intentions might create measurable changes in physical systems. This indicates potential for conscious evolution of human consciousness through collective effort. As more individuals awaken to these possibilities and engage in practices that strengthen quantum connections, we might witness the emergence of new forms of human cooperation and understanding. Looking toward the future, we might envision communities and societies built on the conscious recognition of our quantum interconnectedness. Educational systems could incorporate practices for developing awareness of subtle energy and quantum connections. Healthcare approaches might evolve to consider the quantum aspects of healing and the role of consciousness in physical well-being. The journey of exploring and strengthening quantum connections offers both personal and collective benefits. On a personal level, it can lead to deeper, more meaningful relationships and enhanced intuitive abilities. On a collective level, it points toward possibilities for healing social divisions and fostering global cooperation based on recognition of our essential unity. This understanding calls us to approach life with greater awareness and intention. Each moment offers opportunities to strengthen the quantum bonds that connect us to others and to the universe itself. Through conscious attention to these connections, we participate in the evolution of human consciousness and the realization of our full potential as quantum beings. As we conclude this exploration, remember that you exist within a vast web of quantum connections that link you to all of existence. Your consciousness participates in shaping reality through these connections. By choosing to engage consciously with these quantum aspects of reality, you contribute to the expansion of human awareness and the development of more harmonious ways of living based on recognition of our fundamental unity.